Hiya, friends. I'm Fuzz Martin, and you've stumbled upon or have deliberately chosen to tune into my show, 15 Minutes with Fuzz, and I'm so grateful for that. Thank you for making time for me today. I hope you had a great weekend. In case you missed it, ICYMI, if you're into acronyms, I launched an April Fool's edition of the Morning Buzz with Fuzz on Saturday. It was a lot of fun making the show, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't listened yet, it was based around my old radio show. We had the news with Bob Dorr. Shanna joined me and played Name That Ringtone. Blake Elliott, one of Mike Elliott's sons, joined me to talk about his dad and some of his memories of Mikey's time in radio. And I had a lot of fun getting into some hijinks with Steve Kearns. It was just like old times. You can listen to that episode at 15withfuzz.com. It took a lot of work to produce, so there likely won't be any more of those anytime soon, but I enjoyed the heck out of it, and I hope you do too. Tough Mudder is a fun, intense obstacle course race that takes place in a bunch of different locations throughout the world each year. And this year, it's coming to Washington County, specifically to Heritage Trails County Park in the town of Polk near Slinger. Rachel Poock is an event producer for Tough Mudder, and she joins me to talk about Tough Mudder, why they chose Washington County, what it takes to get prepped, and what to expect at this year's race. With that, here are 15 minutes on Tough Mudder with Rachel Poock on 15 Minutes with Fuzz. Rachel, thank you for joining me. I'm going to start at a very high level, but for those unfamiliar with Tough Mudder, could you please give us a history of the event, what it is, and what makes it unique compared to other obstacle course races?
Absolutely. Tough Mudder is an obstacle course race that kind of prides itself on the challenge that the obstacles bring to the participants, both mentally and physically, as well as in getting them dirty along the way. We really focus on a teamwork aspect of our obstacles, so everything's encouraged to, work together as a team to get through the obstacles, which I think really separates us from the other obstacle races you see out there.
So you're an event producer with Tough Mudder. What does your role entail? What do you do on a day-to-day basis?
I oversee the planning and the execution of the event with our crew on the ground that are doing that. And specifically, I work with the venues, the cities, and the local stakeholders to kind of make all the background pieces get in place so the guys on the ground can build it without a problem.
How many of these do you do each year?
Every year I do about 10 to 12. We have around 25 events each year across the board, and we split those up into teams that kind of divide and conquer them. But I'm doing 10 to 12 each year.
Tough Mudder is coming to Heritage Hills County Park on May 13th and 14th, 2023. How did Washington County, Wisconsin become the chosen location for this year's Tough Mudder event, and what makes Heritage Trails County Park a great venue for it?
It's been a while since we've been in Wisconsin, and it's a great market for us. We love getting out to Wisconsin. One thing that we were looking for is to get closer to the Milwaukee area. Before we were much further north, so we're excited to get closer to the city, as well as Washington County has, invited us into their county with open arms, and just been absolutely awesome to work with. And Heritage Trails Park specifically is just a perfect venue for an event like Tough Mudder. It's got the hills, the trails, all of that creates a fun course, as well as areas to build awesome obstacles.
How long is a typical Tough Mudder? How far is the distance?
Yeah, so we cater to kind of a wide variety of distances. So at Heritage Trails Park, we'll be running a 10K kilometer run and then a 5-kilometer run. So you can kind of choose your challenge and based on how long you want to run. The 10K will have more obstacles on it. It's got 20 obstacles, while the 5K has about 13 obstacles.
And in those kinds of obstacles and things that the participants and spectators are going to experience on May 13th and 14th, what kind of things can they expect this year?
Right. They can expect to get pushed out of their comfort zone for sure, from climbing a 30-foot tall giant cargo net A-frame to army crawling through the mud under barbed wire, swinging over mud pits and water pits on our Funky Monkey. So a little bit of everything to test their strength, their agility, as well as how brave they are.
Perfect. So Tough Mudder has been going on for a number of years. How has the event evolved over the years? Are there any like real new obstacles or any features like that this year?
Yeah, every year we kind of go back to the drawing board and look at how we can innovate and create new experiences, whether that be a whole new obstacle or just taking an obstacle and putting a new spin on it. I think you'll see a lot of that over at Heritage Trails this year, taking something and tweaking it just a little bit so it's different and new and exciting.
Great. Can you give us some insight? I know it takes a lot to plan this and to organize it and to get the course ready. What are some of the biggest challenges that you face in that process?
So we start planning months ahead of time. The team came out in November just to get a lay of the land, meet with the county and the city, as well as understand the property itself. So we did initial planning back in November and have been working with the county and creating designs since then. The team that builds the event comes out 2 weeks ahead of time. So we are on the ground building it from scratch. We have trailers that come in and hold all of our equipment, and then we set it all up from marking the course to building the obstacles to creating our festival area that has the music, the food, all that fun aspect of our event. And it takes about a week and a half to build and about half a week to tear down. And then we put it on the trucks and take it to the next spot. The biggest challenges though are, especially for a venue that we've never been at before, are the unknowns. As no matter what we go into, there's always going to be something that comes up. So we try and plan, but there's always something that you don't know. And as with any outdoor event or, anything outside, the weather is always a challenge. Sometimes you get a beautiful week and it's nice and smooth, but sometimes you get rain all week and things like that that just make it a little more difficult to set up.
Great. Well, I know there's a lot that goes in, and we're looking forward to seeing how Heritage Trails transforms here for Tough Mudder.
Me too.
Now, does Tough Mudder cater to different of people of different fitness levels and backgrounds? Are there any specific categories or modifications for participants?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do offer different distances, so they can choose between a 10K, a longer format, or the 5K, as well as how many obstacles they're doing. Every obstacle is optional, so there's either an easier option to do, or if it's something that's beyond someone's, ability, they are free to skip it or, go past it, maybe come back to it later. So it's not a timed race. It's at your leisure. Some people walk, some people run. So it's completely on your own, and you get to kind of choose how hard you take it.
Great. So as an event producer for Tough Mudder, what is your favorite aspect of the experience, and what do you think sets it apart from some of the other events that you've been involved with?
I love just seeing everything come to life. As I said, we come out months ahead of time and you see the blank slate, and then you're able to see it progress into the event that it is. And I think it's super different from other events just because every time we set it up, it's different. It never looks the same, whether that be the course we're running, the obstacles that we're putting out, the festival changing. There's always something different. So it's never the exact same thing, no matter how many times you go to a Tough Mudder.
Could you tell us about some of the local partnerships and collaborations that have contributed to making this possible here in Washington County? I know, like you said, a lot goes into it, and there's a lot of planning involved. So who's all involved locally?
We've been working with Washington County Parks quite a bit, and they've just been a huge resource and a huge help on getting us out there and then assisting along the planning process for this event. So we're working very closely with them, and it's been great. We've also been working with the Slinger School District. They're assisting with giving us extra our parking facilities. So we'll be parking at Slinger High School, and they've been wonderful as well. And then, of course, working with the Wisconsin 9/11 Memorial as we take on our beer operations and help in that capacity. So I think that's one of the other great things about Tough Mudder is that we fully engage with the community and like to work with the local community and partnerships and businesses.
That's perfect. It's great. And yes, as a member of the board of directors for the Wisconsin 9/11 Memorial, we appreciate you including us as the nonprofit running that portion of that. And it'll go a long way to help support our mission there. In addition to that, what other economic and community impact does an event like Tough Mudder have on surrounding communities?
This brings out people from all over the Midwest, from the Chicago area, from anywhere around. So people are coming in and they're staying for the weekend. They're staying at local hotels. They're eating at local restaurants and getting a chance to enjoy what the Slinger and Washington counties has to offer outside of restaurants and other activities that are going on. So they really come in for the full weekend and hang out.
What do you think makes Tough Mudder so popular, and why is it a successful event worldwide? What do you hope participants will take away from their experience?
I think it's something so different because it just pushes you both mentally and physically. It tests your limits, how far you will go on something, and allows for that teamwork aspect, which is, I think, a very unique aspect where you're working with a team, you're making friends with someone on the course that you've never met before, but they're pushing you over a wall, they're encouraging you to get through that piece that someone's struggling with. So it really brings people together, both friends that you come with and friends that you make on the course. And I think that's really unique, and people come out feeling just gratified and accomplished as they come through that finish line.
All right, lastly, where can our listeners find out more information about Tough Mudder and specifically the event at Heritage Trails County Park here in Washington County? And then also, is there still room for people to sign up?
Absolutely. If you go to toughmudder.com and find the Wisconsin event, you can find out more information about that specific event, as well as sign up right there online. And there's more room. Now, if you're not sure, we also do on-site sales. So you can come day of if you make a quick decision and sign up right there on the spot.
Perfect. So I assume then are you out on the road right now at another Tough Mudder event?
I am. We just finished our LA event out in San Bernardino. So we're wrapping up now. We had a great successful weekend. So this crew is actually going to be the crew that's out in Wisconsin. So we're all looking forward to it.
Perfect. Well, we will welcome you with open arms here to Wisconsin. Rachel, thank you for coming on 15 Minutes with Fuzz, and we look forward to Tough Mudder at Heritage Trails County Park in Washington County over in the town of Polk and over by Slinger on May 13th and 14th. Rachel, thanks again.
Fantastic. Thank you, Fuzz.
Thank you again to Rachel Poock, event producer with Tough Mudder. Again, the race comes to Heritage Trails County Park in the town of Polk, right next to Slinger, on Saturday and Sunday, May 13th and 14th, 2023, in case you're listening to this in the future. You can sign up for the event at toughmudder.com, search the Wisconsin event when you get there, and you will find it. We also need some volunteers to help serve beer to benefit the Wisconsin 9/11 Memorial and Education Center. If you're interested in volunteering, please email me, 15withfuzz@gmail.com. That's 15 spelled out, withfuzz@gmail.com. Please do so this week. That's also my email address to use if you ever have any requests for guests for me to interview on this show. Also, that's where Sherry from Slinger and Carla from Kewaskum, no, those aren't made up names even though they do alliterate. That's where they emailed me and asked me for 15 Minutes with Fuzz stickers. If you'd like one, you can do the same. Again, email me 15withfuzz@gmail.com and then tell me where to send those stickers. And again, 15 is spelled out. That's all for today's show. New episodes come out on Tuesday mornings. Hit the follow button in your podcast player, and I'll talk to you next time right here on 15 Minutes with Fuzz.